Alright, what's up, guys? Muhammad here, Rights of Fathers. Okay, um, going part two of the video that I made previously in regards to how I lost custody of my son with the aid of fraudulent state of Wisconsin. So what actually happened, I think previously I kind of got briefly into some of the facts that took place, but the real reason was, like I said, when I dug into my son's education records, I discovered some disturbing facts about the things that they had done to him. The thing that disturbed me the most was I found out that he was taken in for shock therapy. I thought that was insane, considering the fact that I'm his father, and they did that without my consent, because they knew, of course, I would never agree to such idiotic bullshit. And putting him in ritalin, which is Schedule 2 psychotropic drug, for a child that's 6 years old is just sheer madness. And so when I looked at the records, the part that really shocked me was the reasoning behind all this. The reason was that due to his cultural background, he had tendencies for violence. Of course, that's complete bullshit. So I called the counseling center, or the place where they took him for the shock therapy, and mind you, that was for an entire summer. It's called Family Services of Wisconsin. So I called them, and I literally, this is my exact words: "How dare you do this to my son?" And they said, "We're going to call you back, sir." They never call back. When I call, they don't answer. They don't respond to any forms of communication. When I send them a letter, they never responded. And yet they continue to put him through shock therapy. And my issue was primarily with ritalin. If you see all these kids nowadays, I don't know about you, but when I was in college, I would say about 80 to 90% of all the students there were on Adderall. And at that time I didn't really think much of it. It wasn't until like my senior year that I started to see kids were getting extremely addicted to it. It was like there was like a black market where everybody was just selling to each other. They would crush it and snort it. They were popping that Adderall like candy. And I realized now, what happened. It was because when they were kids, their parents started hooking them on all these psychotropic drugs. And by the time you become an adult, you're completely dependent upon it. And some that are unlucky end up, getting into coke, which is basically a psychotropic drug. I mean, the only difference is it's not regulated by the FDA. and it's a little bit more extreme, but as far as our brain is concerned, it's the same thing. You know, if you look at the chemical composition, it's the exact same thing. The way it breaks down into the body. And then, of course, you know, my third issue was that, you know, obviously, you know, they vaccinated them. And, you know, I've been watching, you know, the news, like, you know, a lot of people are dropping like flies, you know, like young kids getting heart attacks and dying. So, basically, you know, they destroyed my son, you know. It's really like it's a father's nightmare, you know. No father, no sensible parent, you know, would ever want something this chaotic to happen to their child. I just hope that, you know, I can help any father to prevent all this craziness. And I hope, you know, it's not too late for my son, and hopefully there's some kind of natural remedy that could circumvent all this plots, you know, that was done to him. So yeah, that's really what happened. You know, that's the main crux of what happened. And of course, you know, when they did all those things, and for me to find out later on, and to try to hold, you know, the state accountable, that's where they took issue with. You know, basically they're just protecting themselves, you know. And the crazy thing is, when they do all these things, they are literally not liable, because you know, they're you know, they're gonna say it's all voluntary. You know, nobody coerced you to take the vaccination. Nobody coerced you to take these medications. They're gonna say, you know, we didn't force him to go to shock therapy, but in a way, they did indirectly, you know, because they did it in a deceptive, fraudulent way. You know, by, you know, manipulating and lying to the mother. Of course, the mother, you know, she's dumb, you know, to believe all this, but still, they still manipulated her. They didn't give her the full facts. They didn't give her the full disclosure. But again, you know, she's partly responsible. And I am going to hold them all accountable for what they did. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but I will hold them accountable. Every single person is going to pay for what they did to my kid, you know. Every single one of you guys that, you know, did what you did, and you know what you did, you're going to pay for what you did. I promise you that. So that's really what happened. That's how I lost custody. So, you know, I sued everybody. You know, I sued his doctors, I sued the school, I sued the counselors, the psychiatrists. Everybody got sued. The family services. And what happened, you know, what ended up happening was they all, of course, ganged up on me. You know, I'm one man going against a whole state. You know, so at that time, you know, I wasn't as knowledgeable in the law as I am now. So they were able to get away. But they got away, you know, but they're not getting away this time. Not only am I going to hold them accountable, but I'm also going to make sure any father that is going through that will have will have some sort of support from me, you know, whether it's me helping them through these videos, or, you know, if they need to get in contact with me, you know, I can talk to them about how they can maneuver around these people. In the next video, I'm gonna talk about how to get out of child support. You know, I don't really think child support is a big deal, but I realize that it's affecting a lot of fathers, you know, putting fathers in jail, and for basically something trivial, you know, something that you can work on with the mother. So yeah, watch out for the next video. I'm gonna make it on child support today. I worked overnight and I still gotta go back to work, so I'm out of energy, but I promise I'm gonna make that video. Until then.